Time for Mr. Truck, reviewing the latest innovations for your truck and trailer.
It's Kent and Chuck. We're the grumpy old men reviewing a truck from MrTruck.com. This is a 2020 heavy-duty Ram 3500 Laramie, and it has a duals and it's high output, and it's an awesome truck. We're going to show you all the features of this truck and talk about the trailers, and we're going to do two trailers that we towed with it. And it has the inline 6 Cummins high output diesel, the Ison 6-speed. And check how much power does this have.
Got 400 horsepower with 1,000 foot-pound of torque.
Awesome. And we're pulling this 16,000 pound Cimarron. There's no horses in it, but it's a living quarter, so it's nose heavy. So we're pulling this around the country. This is like 44 foot of trailer, so it's a big rig. We're testing this out. This is part one. We're going to talk about the truck and the towing, the features of the truck, and then we're going to get more into the trailers and the accessories we're using and testing in part two. It's going to be a big story, so come join us for the review. Man, I love this power step. It comes out, it's out of the way, and it's all kinds of room on this to get to both doors on this side. And then when you close the door, it gets up out of the way, and then there's a button in the dash you can get rid of it if you're going off-road. Not too many times you do that off-road thing with a dually, though. Okay. This is such a cool mirror setup. This is the spotter where you push that button, and you push whichever side you want to do it, and then you push this button. And watch this. In and out, and in and out. I love it. Up and down. You do all that while you're driving. You go around a corner, you can see where the curb is. Oh, that's wonderful. Now let's see. There's also, watch this. Whoa! Power folding mirror, man. I want one. Cool. Another cool thing on this is this back little step. This is an option, and you push that forward, and you see it comes out, so then you can climb up in your bed. Now, I always like the Chevy with steps in the bumper, but this is cool too. This way you can get in there with a trailer on it, like this gooseneck. I can lower the tailgate and get on this step. That's just pretty cool. See, it's on the outside of the tailgate, so I can step on there, step on here, and get up there even with the gooseneck, which is good. Because the step is useless if you can't use it with a trailer. And then it just gets back into place. See how fast that was? Let me show you again, because it is cool. Step on this and slide it out. Did you see the action check? Yep. Isn't that cool?
Yeah, that's pretty neat.
There you go. Now these are the plugs on this new truck, and there's also plugs in the bed. And up here, just like everybody, they're getting into cameras now. You can plug in some cameras for your trailer right up there. So yes, indeed, this is the decade of the cameras. Cool back seat. This thing flips out. It's got legs on it, and you can flatten it out for the floor. Nice storage. Cool. Both sides do that, so you almost make a flat floor. You still got a pedestal that this seat sets under or over. Oh yeah, look at that. There's that reducer I was looking for, and there's a little ring for the fifth. Yeah, you got storage under and storage in front. That's good. You can never have enough storage. So that is great. And this thing, of course, has more plug-ins than you can imagine. 12 volt and USB-Cs and all that. Awesome. And this has got one of the most useful center consoles. Flip that up, you got storage in number 1, the top, number 2, the bottom, and it is deep. And then this thing here with your cup holders and stuff slides back. You got a place to charge your phone. And wow, what is this? There's another cubby hole. And of course some more parts. I love their parts. Yes, this is good storage. You can put this cup holder wherever you want it. Yes, it makes a lot of sense. And if you're into building, it shows you how to do your build your trusses on the back of the console door. Of course, the four-wheel drive is very convenient, easy to get a hold of on the right side of the steering wheel. And these switches down here, I like these switches. Alternate trailer height for a big trailer, and of course exhaust brake, tow haul mode, then your backup sensors. And there's a brake controller in a very good place. And then this giant screen that shows you everything. Let's go to home. and see what it shows. Isn't that cool? Media comfort. And you can split this into two parts, which it kind of is there now. But navigation gives you a really big screen, so you won't get lost no matter what part of town you're in. Maybe I'll have to start it. Wow, it shows your phone signal and all that. Let's see, wait for it to quit beeping. There's navigation. Anyway, come in navigation screen. There we go. There's your nav screen. Look how big that is. Top to bottom, you got 12 inches of screen. Tells you how much signal you have on your phone. And there's that one backup camera, which is cool. Get up here, let's see where all the camera phones are. A little sequence of things. Settings, cameras. Okay. There you go. Now that's a rear view of it, so you can go up here, so you can see your gooseneck, see what your cargo's doing, and back it up to it. And that's the one on your bumper. Of course, you can see, oh, look at that. See, as you turn the corner with the trailer, you can see way out there on each side. That's just too cool. I guess they don't have auxiliary. That would, if you did hook up that plug in the back in your trailer, you would have all that, which is cool. So we'll get out of that screen. Yeah, you can play all day in the screen. You get into comfort, your heated steering wheel seat that comes on automatically when it's cold. But yeah, when you're backing up, you can hit this magnification button and really see what's going on with that ball. There's that Gen Y hitch back there. And this is the backup one. This is the one for the gooseneck. And let's see if I can magnify that so you can see that Gen Y hitch right there. Yeah, going down the road, you actually could watch that bounce. That's what you want with the Gen Y, with any kind of a suspension hitch. And this is torsion, some kind of torsion tubes that's used on horse trailer axles. And your whole idea is to separate the movement of the truck and the trailer, which is what this does. This is the new Pegasus 5.5 we're testing now. But yeah, and the other thing in the dash has all the right gauges. And you know, I've got to complain about something that seems to be my job. But this gauge up here in the corner, this is actually your exhaust brake horsepower, which I didn't know that's how they measured it, but I guess it is. It was all the way up to 335, and I've had it up to 300. That measures how much power your exhaust brake's putting out. And you go down, this little tiny gauge down here goes up to 35. That's your boost, which is always fun to watch, how much boost you're getting out of that turbo. So while you can monitor your turbo, monitor your exhaust brake, then of course you got a gauge for your DEF fluid, which is important. And of course your transmission temperature, your engine temperature, of course the tach, the fuel gauge, all that stuff. And you can go through a whole series of different gauges on here, which is really cool. Now this is what we talked about too. This is the adaptive cruise control up here. You push that on, and then you hit set, and that will actually, you can see it in there, and it shows how far away you are from the object. And then you decide what, you set it with the set button, and you decide what speed you want. I love that adaptive cruise control, and I use that with, this is full exhaust brake on now. You can see the yellow, that's full exhaust brake, full exhaust. And then I'm going to push it again, push that one twice, and that's your auto. And that's really controllable. The full exhaust brake, like the other one, the yellow one, it'll just really slow you down. So this works well with using adaptive cruise control, or just kind of, you want it to be a smooth ride. You don't need super powerful stopping. But if you're pulling a big trailer and you want aggressive stopping, you want to put it on full, and you still want to put it over here, you know, you use the tow haul mode with the trailer, of course, and that's right there. And then you can set everything else. But there's the alternative trailer height. And you can adjust the height. You can lower this truck, you can raise it up to full height, and you do an alternative trailer height with the trailer, and it kind of makes you more aerodynamic. It may help you save some fuel, but I've used that off and on. But anyway, back to adaptive cruise control. And then this bottom one here, this is adaptive cruise control, where it locks on the car in front of you, so it slows you down, speeds you up, will actually stop you if a car stops or a light stops you, and then you have 2 or 3 seconds to put your foot on the brake, otherwise it shuts off and then you can coast forward. You don't want to do that. So you put your foot on the brake, but it'll actually come all the way to a stop. And that's the normal one we're used to. And that actually probably saves a little gas, because the adaptive cruise control will speed you up, slow you down, keep adjusting you, where the cruise here basically holds that one speed. Then if you have to shut it off when a car is too close to you, then you just have to do that. This is the steering wheel I like. It fits my hands. They have a great big wood one and they're high end. This is a Laramie, and it doesn't fit my hand. It gives me cramps squeezing that great big piece of wood all day long. And that's the way it's fake wood, but whatever it is, it's got the brown steering wheel. This is the normal little vinyl wrapped one. But anyway, we had fun today, driving all around, and finishing up the review of this 2020 Ram heavy duty with the inline 6 Cummins, the high output, and the 6-speed Ison, and a 410 rear end. This is the old school truck. In the last 2 years, I had 5 trailer tire blowouts. Each time it happens, it tears up a fender, cracks my clearance lights, demolishes my license plates. Trailer tires are so close together, they throw nails at each other. And if you've trailered much, you know that trailer tires are not the best made. There's only a handful that are any good. And they're not as good as truck tires. So, I wanted a way to monitor my air pressure and my heat on my trailer tires, so I know when something's about to happen. Before it happens, it costs me a pile of money. Now you can know what you can't see. Real-time tire pressure and temperature. There's a low battery alarm, a high pressure alarm, a low pressure alarm, high heat alarm. So I wanted one that would go inside the tire like they do on my truck. And, you know, I've tried those kind that just screw on your valve stem, they're about the size of golf balls. And of course, if you got a horse tied to the trailer, he'll paw it off or chew it off. And those are like 50 bucks a piece, so they're, you know, they're easy to get stolen too. Everything I was looking for was in this unit. The tire pressure unit's inside the tire, out of the way. Just one repeater on the trailer to amplify the wireless signal to the truck, and just a wireless receiver monitor in the truck. Well, cruising down I-25 heading toward Wyoming. It's where my grandparents' homestead. We'll have my grandparents' homestead in Wyoming, the other half of my grandparents' homestead in Colorado. So, I don't know if that makes me dual citizenship or not. Yeah, narrow road into construction, then I got a long trailer. I got to make sure I go line to line just to fit in the lane. And this trailer is 36 feet long. It's a Cimarron North Star, 4-horse with a 15.5-foot living quarters. It's 8 feet wide, and you know, so we got 44 foot of stuff following us around. Beautiful aluminum trailer. And Kelsey's sick today, so my cousin Chuck and Betty, we're the crew, man. We'll call this the old guy's truck review, because I know Chuck's old. So what are you, 5 years older than me? 4 years older? I have no idea.
3.
You're 3 years.
Yeah.
Oh, you got younger.
65.
65.
Let's keep it in perspective here.
Oh, that's right. Well, that's okay. Now, this truck is too cool. We got the exhaust brake on. We have the tow haul on. I've got actually the automatic exhaust brakes. I'm using the adaptive cruise control. I love that with a big rig like this, because you don't do anything. You don't touch the brake, you don't touch the gas. All you do is once in a while look at the steering wheel.
Just have to watch too. You got a sheriff's car.
Yeah, the sheriff's. What they, they think they own the road. What is this? Larimer County Sheriff. You're looking at how the hood is. I mean, it slopes off each side, so you got decent visibility. I wish the dome was not quite so tall, but that's the look thing. This is a giant grill, big radiator, so all that for cooling for this 1,000 pound-feet of torque engine. But look at this big thing in the middle. I think it's speakers. I'm not sure what it is, but it looks like speakers and all that. So they got this giant mirror or a giant box that the mirror inside rearview mirror is attached to, and I think that's a blind spot. I'm not sure. I want to lose that much windshield space just to have speakers. Well, cool. So we decided not to go to the mountains because the trailer's awfully long and there's a lot of switchbacks and curves up there. So taking the easy route, cruising up and down the road. Now this trailer, I've got it weighted to 16,000. Well, it's empty. That's what it weighs, empty, 16,000 pounds. But it's a living quarter, so it's got a really heavy tongue weight. So it's got a 4,800 pound tongue weight. So we're also checking out the new Gen Y torsion gooseneck, which is a Pegasus 5.5. It's the new one that slides up further in your neck for these tall trucks. And Ram's definitely a tall truck. What's cool about this 3500, and it's a Laramie, it's a loaded one. I think it's a sport model because it's got the black accents and grill and all that. But I'll look that up for you. But towing 16,000 pounds and big long trailer, and this has got 10,000 pound axles on the Cimarron. They're regular drum electric brakes. Now what's interesting on the Ram is that, well, several things that are interesting. It's got a deal on here that's automatic. Whenever you are pulling a trailer that's less than 30 feet long, it actually will measure the trailer at your first turn. Okay, you can see that 20-foot little picture of a trailer. I'll try to zoom in, but it gets blurry when I zoom in. That is so cool. When I ran my first corner, the truck, all the cameras, it measured the trailer, which is so awesome. It'll go all the way up to 30 feet. And my truck is this trailer is a dump trailer. It's a iron bolt, 16 feet long on the bed, and at least a 5-foot tongue. So it's probably 21 feet overall, and it shows me 20, which is really cool. That means this thing will actually beep when something comes along on the outside corner of my trailers to let me know somebody's sneaking up on me. I like that. That's a really good safety feature. It goes up to 30 foot. When we had the 40-foot iron bowl with TFL truck doing the Ike, it couldn't measure. It just said that there was a trailer back there, so it tried to give us a blind spot, but it's made for a maximum of 20-foot trailers. But that is so cool. I love it when there's more trailer technology added to these trucks, because these are trailer towing trucks. This 3500 Ram, 1 ton, will tow like over 34,000 in a gooseneck. Tells you how long it is. That way the blind spot system kicks in with all your cameras, so it shows you when somebody's sneaking around your corner right on the very edge of the trailer, which is really good, because a lot of times your mirrors, this is an 8-foot wide trailer, it's an 8.5-foot wide trailer, you would only see the front part of the trailer. But that blind spot system on here tells you somebody's sneaking up on you, so you know not to get crazy in your lane. And I really like that. What's kind of weird about this truck is it's got, of course, tail wheel, but there's no telescoping wheel. And that's, I don't know if it's a thing with Ram or what it is, but you'd think by now in a Laramie that when it's pretty high up on the packages, you would be able to do all that, do the telescoping thing. It's got power pedals, it's got all the toys. Well, we're cruising down a nice smooth road, and I want to get on some rough roads. We need to find us a rough road to check out that Gen Y torsion of the new Spartacus, or Pegasus. It's named after a horse. It's a Pegasus, because that's these tall trucks, and a lot of that has to do with horse traders trying to get them to fit and not hit your bed rail. And it's got a 5.5-inch reach, which is just enough. The full Pegasus is 11-inch reach if you have a short bed truck, but you got to make sure you don't hit the wing gussets of the trailer on the bed rail. I can show you pictures of that. So we're going to show you the two new Gen Y hitches. We're going to show you the trailer and go over all the features of this truck. This is a beautiful truck. The red and black rear looks cool, and I like it. I've driven this truck with Andre and TFL's Ike Goblin with that 40-foot iron bowl, pulling 30,000 pounds. So I've been in this truck. It's really amazing on fuel mileage. Like right now, it's showing 10.3. I mean, I got it up to, I'll have to look that up, but I think I got it up to 16.5 without a trailer on it. But it doesn't seem to matter, loaded or empty. Not that I'm going to read all this while I drive. But yeah, with the empty truck, I got 16.5 MPG with nothing, no trailer or anything. And then with that rock trailer, geez, there's something in the middle of the road. I'm going to have to do a maneuver. It's called the goose maneuver, where you swing around the object in the road and you swing back without killing the moose. Somebody lost the tarp back there. Anyway, so loaded with 16,000 pounds of rock on that dump trailer, I was getting 10.5. And then empty trailer, I was getting 11.5. That's not much difference. I guess a trailer's a trailer. The trailer empty was 5,000 pounds. This one empty is 16,000. So if we had horses in here, we'd be getting up there 20,000 pounds. But I don't have any horses anymore. Do you have any horses, Chuck? I don't have any horses.
No horses.
So this adaptive cruise control is probably not helping me because it's slowing me down too much for these other trucks, trailers. Maybe I actually need to reset it. Let's see. Let's get it back up here. I love adaptive cruise control, but it probably does cost you a little more fuel mileage over regular cruise control, which it has both, which I think is cool. Let's see, let's hit resume and see where that ends up. Boy, this makes it so easy to pull this big trailer. You know, even coming down the Island with Andre. Come down, you know, 7% grade, 11,000 feet. You set all this up and it just totally held the speed that I set it at. I was very impressed with it. But anyway, right now, according to the computer, it's showing just cruising down the interstate with adaptive cruise control on. We're getting 10.3 miles to the gallon. So there's your range. You know, loaded, you're going to be closer to 10, and empty, well, it depends. If you're in the mountains and you're doing the Islands, you're going to get probably 2 or 3 when you go at that kind of altitude and at 7% grade. But out here in the flats, we can get better than 10 with 16,000 pounds. So empty at 16.5. You know, Ram used to be so big on fuel mileage back when they had the 2-valve, the old, what engine was that called? You remember that diesel? This one is a 6.7. There's a 5.9, I think, was the old diesel. And that 2-valve used to get the best fuel mileage of any of them. And now they're all kind of catching up to Ram on this. Some of these will get, you know, closer to 20 empty. But this is a 410 rear end, so this is made for towing. And it's a 6-speed Ison. So that combination, you know, you're geared down. That's the kind of gears I used to always like. And now, you know, with the new 10 speeds, they're all moving them up to get better fuel mileage. But Ram hasn't put the 10-speed in here. We'll see if that happens next year. But it does well with the 6-speed. It's just not going to be as fast as what the Ford is with their 10-speed and their 6.7 diesel. It's a very comfortable truck. And this air system on here keeps you level. And it's got an alternate trailer height, which drops like an inch, you know, help you be more aerodynamic, I guess, for fuel mileage. It levels you out with a certain weight, you know, at highway speeds. But the other thing that is cool about that, and the air ride on it, that you got to think about, and that's, you know, we want you to be cautious towing trailers, because this trailer, this truck with air ride, just like a semi has, well, this has got leaf spring and airbags. Semis just have airbags. I think all of the manufacturers pulling these big trailers need to have air ride, because you can drop it, might help you unhook a trailer, you can raise it, you can do all these things with it, or you can set it set automatically. But what you got to be careful with is you're not going to have a squatty truck, because, you know, when I was with Andre doing the hike with the GMC diesel and the Ford diesel, both of them squatted, you know, with a lot of weight. I can't remember what the weight was on those, but it was 4 inches of squat on the Island.
There's your rough road.
Yeah, there's a rough road. Need to break this hitch in a little so I can get some good movement out of that Gen Y Pegasus torsion back there. But anyway, yeah, we were pulling 30,000 pounds. I was saying the Island was all 30,000 pounds flatbed, pulling that cat around with the Iron Bull flatbed. But both the Ford and the GMC squatted 4 inches, which to me is a lot. So it changes your headlights, as a few other things, and, you know, you're on a level, so you don't put the same weight on the front bearings you should. You're equalizing all that out. But what that means is, on this air ride system, the only thing that's going to squat, you'll get a little bit of a squat out of the tires, but not the suspension. So you can be way overloaded and never know it, because your truck's not going to squat. So you got to take that into consideration. So I'm not seeing the mountains. Now, there's the mountains. Maybe you can with the camera see the mountains. They're only 20 miles away. Hey, that's cool. If we can get a good shot of the mountains from the interstate, I-25, heading toward Cheyenne, Wyoming. But anyway, so be cautious about that with the Ram, is that you're not overloaded. Just do your scales, weigh your tongue, do all your normal stuff you should to know where you're at. Because you don't want to blow tires or something else. This is cruising right along. I mean, you know, may not be the fastest truck of the three, but it holds its own. It's, you know, like, just chugs right along the road. And exhaust brake sounds so cool, and it sounds like a real Peterbilt. I mean, it really sounds awesome. And when you don't have the exhaust brake kicking in, you're nice and quiet in here. I mean, we're talking normally. Chuck's not saying much, Chuck. Say something.
I'm just listening. I'm trying to take in all this stuff.
Well, Chuck's going to
Learn
ride
and
here in a little
observe,
bit
right?
so I can go over my notes, because I'm old now. I have to take a lot of notes so I can remember all this stuff. Because it is cool. This same size cab they've had for a while. They didn't make the 1500 larger. They didn't really touch this cab. They still make a mega cab in the heavy duties. Ram does. But I like this. This four-wheel drive works great on this. I've used it several times. New place. All right, we're approaching. We must have went through Fort Collins and I didn't even notice it.
Yeah. Yeah, you went by Fort Collins and
Wow.
Budweiser. We can go borrow a couple Clydesdales.
Yeah, let's go to Budweiser and check out their brewery and see what the Clydesdales are doing and look at all the fancy silver harnesses they got. But wait, I think the camera's point, you should be able to see that. You probably should point it toward the mountains, I guess.
It looks like it's probably got the Budweiser.
Yeah, I should have the Budweiser in there. It'd be nice if we could see the mountains. Yeah, there's some rough road. We might be able to get the camera on that hitch yet.
Yeah.
Holy cow, what if it's rough over there? We have to keep driving the same road.
Yeah. Well, they're
Calorie there. Well, they got tents up. They must be expecting us. We're out to get the kids going and pet the Clydesdales.
yeah, they do those
Tours.
tours. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been there. I've been there. They try to give you free beer and stuff too. That's just terrible. But I've been through the harness, through the horse stalls where the big harnesses were hanging and the Clydesdales were hanging out, kicking footballs back and forth. You know, they do that. They kick footballs.
Yeah.
Dude, we're not that far from Cheyenne then.
No,
I got enough fuel to get back. We may have to walk back. Yeah, and I'll show that on camera, but this front, top, and middle, that's your lane departure. If you're swerving, it beeps at you and lights go off in the mirror and all that.
and then you're like.
That's traction control, yeah. You got a lot of controls. I mean, beautiful screen. It's a 12-inch screen, and you can cut it in half. Do a lot of controls. So always the first thing I do is I go in there and shut off the heat steering on the seat because it really works well. Yeah, it shows the camera. It's got a front camera too. Great cameras on this thing. Blind spot. Yeah. See, that's the bumper camera. It shows you if you're backing up to a bumper pull trailer. Then it's got one by the brake light on top of the cab. There's a name for that.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, there it is. You can see, if you got something in the bed about to blow out, you can watch it for a little while. You got to keep turning it on.
Check entire surroundings.
Well, your grandparents were homesteaded in Wyoming too, weren't they? No, you weren't. You were the other side of the family. Well, yeah, they were. Those are your grandparents and my grandparents. So we both had grandparents homesteaded in Wyoming.
Same.
So we're like pioneers, you know. My mom, my mom's folks, they homesteaded out in eastern Colorado, and she was born in a sod house back in 1918. The old homestead sod house, you know, made out of little bricks of dirt.
Yeah.
So we're like, we should have pioneer license plates. This puppy's a high output Ram inline 6 diesel from Cummins. It's 400 horsepower and 1,000 pound-feet of torque. They were the first ones to break that 1,000 pound-feet of torque.
Shows right now we're getting 10.1 miles per gallon.
Yeah.
Got a tailwind.
You know, 16,000 well, we do. We got tailwind. Well, that's good. Well, my average is 229 on fuel. Gotta find some cheap diesel. And this rascal, excuse me, this Laramie, 2020 3500 Ram crew cab dually. It's high output 4-wheel drive, long bed, of course. The MSRP on it's $85,275. I guess you got a 5-year, 100,000 mile warranty. Drivetrain, 3-year bumper to bumper. We're pulling this 44-foot trailer. Now this is a 410 rear end. It's called a red flame in color, the black interior. Leather trimmed buckets. This has customer package 21H 795 surround view camera system, the trailer reverse guidance. There's a safety group which has the lane keep assist, full speed forward collision warning, adaptive control with stop, adaptive cruise control with stop, adaptive steering system. We have not been able to get an answer on what all the adaptive steering system does. I think it's new for this year, but nobody seems to know anything about it. Oh yes, this has the DOT certified roadside kit. which is like a fire extinguisher and I think a first aid kit, and those triangles. So that is part of the Max Tow package. So you get the baggie with all the cool stuff in it, and then it's got the fifth wheel gooseneck tow prep group, and of course that means it has to have the 410 axle. And the center stop lamp with cargo view camera, automatic rear level and air system, 30,000 mount fifth wheel hitch by Mopar, and all that costs you $30,695, which that's a lot for the money. But that 30,000 direct mount fifth wheel, they keep putting that in these trucks, and very few times do we ever use it. We've had to use it on M2 Freightliner because that's what it had in it. So I put one of those fifth wheel stems in there on the gooseneck. Most of the time we don't do that. I wish I had RV. RVs are very hard to review because they're not made to be driven every day, and those are hard to get a hold of. Otherwise, I would review a few fifth wheels because they do have a high tow rating. That's 30,000 pounds for a Max Trader towing with this truck, with the Max Trader in package. But the problem with it is it weighs 200 pounds. So we always want the gooseneck prep. Just like now, I'm pulling a gooseneck horse trailer, so that comes in a little box and you stick it in there. But the fifth wheel, you basically take it apart in two pieces, and you got to lift it 200 pounds out of the bed, put it somewhere while you're using the truck, and then put it all back. So I'm hoping that that somebody gets that out of the truck and keeps it, because none of us use it out here in Colorado that I know of. I know I don't. TFL Truck doesn't. But yeah, the bed utility group gives you the LED bed lighting, the deployable bed step, the sprayed-in bed liner. And all that is the $745. Now this also has the night edition, which is $2,295, and that is all the black accents. It has the grill and all that. Of course, this has, the cooled seats, the heated mirrors, rain-sensitive windshield wipers. That is nice. Heated seats in the second row. Well, that's neat. That's kind of cool. This has got the Cordon Premium Sound, a Harman Cordon Premium Sound. Yes, it's got reverse lamps on the mirror. I see it down there in the bottom part of the arm. Now the diesel on this by itself is $11,795. Plus the icing, and maybe that's part of the package because they don't show it on here being separated. But that's $11,795 for this gun. It's almost $12,000. Of course, diesel exhaust brake. Power deployable running boards is $995. I guess that's different than the deployable bed step. And it's got the on-off-road tires. They're good-looking tires. Wow, the dual rear wheels is $1,395. I thought that was part of this truck. Wow, they sell you the duals? Dual rear wheels. Wow, of course that includes the fenders you got to have for the duals when you're 8 feet wide. You got to have lights on the fenders, lights on the cab, lights everywhere. These are 17-inch wheels. Trailer camera wiring and no camera. Okay, this is that top part of the plug. I showed you the plug. The bottom part's for the trailer. Top part is the cameras, and that's almost $500. And this has the dual alternators. Now, and when I was selling trucks, dual alternators, you only put that on ambulance packages. We didn't need them any other time. I'm kind of surprised. Of course, there's a lot of electronics on this, but why would you want to pay for fixing two alternators when they go bad? Why do you need two alternators? And it's only $295. Maybe that's why they're doing it, because it's cheap. Of course, you got to have two batteries on these big diesels like this, but two alternators? Anyway, that's how it was ordered in. It may not have anything to do with RAM. It may just be the way they ordered this truck in. But all that comes to an MSRP of $85,275. But, yeah, and I don't really know what the price of this trailer is. It's an expensive one. It's a 4-horse. It has living quarters, it has generator, it has hay pod. But you can always go to transwesttrucktraderrv.com and look it up on their site, or, call one of the salespeople and find out if you're interested in the trailer. It's a nice trailer. It's aluminum. Of course, it has a steel frame, subframe around the axles, and then which they call it the axle trolley, and then the part of the fifth wheel is the gooseneck part is steel, bolted to the aluminum frame of the trailer. But anyway, hope you enjoyed the review and you learned something and you know all about this truck, because you know everything I know. And it's a good handling truck. They're fun to drive, these big trucks. Listen to the diesel and listen to the exhaust brake. It just makes you feel cool. It's a manly truck. Anyway, see you next time.